Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news. Joining BJ Rains today is KTIK 95.3 FM The Ticket's Mike Prater. Listen to Idaho Sports Talk with Prater in the Ballgame. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 95.3 FM The Ticket and online at KTIK.com. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, here's Mike Prater and BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
They're a little banty in the chat that we're starting late. We apologize for that. The yard work guy showed up at 8:55. What can you do, Mike Prater? I mean, it was just horrible timing, but I had to talk to the guy. And the beauty of a YouTube broadcast is if you have to start at 9:05, you have to start at 9:05 today. So I apologize to you and JP for getting there early and then having to wait for me, but appreciate you for joining us, Mike Prater.
No problem, BJ. The business must be going well. You have your own yard guy. That's the ultimate American dream come true. Everybody wants their own yard guy.
I got recommended to him by Jeremiah Dickey, so I figured it'd be a high quality work here, and we're the company will not be named, but we're still trying to finish up some loose ends, I guess, on the project. But
there you go.
It's going well, and again, apologize. So I looked right when he showed up. I knew I was in trouble, and just couldn't quite make it work. But here we are, better late than never, and appreciate everybody for checking us out. By the way, Mike, I mentioned this on yesterday's show. Where's it at here? We had a huge controversy on Tuesday because somebody stole the closest to the pin sign at the tournament and took it home.
What?
And yes, and we couldn't find it. And lo and behold, a member of your foursome somehow brings it over to my house yesterday and randomly drops it off. So we have the closest to the pin sign now. And
is my name on it?
No, it's not actually. No, it's not. It's there's one scratched out. I can't tell if that says Mike Prater or not, but
probably not. No.
And Rob Draper and our two winners will be reaching out to you, and we'll be in touch with you. We also drew for the driver yesterday, Mike. We have our winners for the $600 driver as well as the wedge. Did Tyson Degenhart get the ball in the green when he shot for you guys?
I believe he did. He got it right on the
half and half from what I hear.
Right on the front of the green. Yes.
Okay. He was about half and half from what I hear. I think RJ Keene was proved himself to be the better golfer. So next year we may have to be switching up the roles for the celebrity shot. By the way, Don Day is watching. We appreciate Don for watching. And he says he wants to be able to someday hire Jeremiah's yard guy. So
yeah, no kidding.
There was not supposed to be some humble brag when I brought that up that I was using the same guy that he uses. And no, we do not live anywhere near the same neighborhood. I'm surprised they came over to my house probably after talking to him. But no, we sorry for that, but we'll make do here for the next 20 minutes. Mike, I'm headed to your favorite place in the world this evening. I'm headed to Las Vegas for the weekend.
Woo!
I will be there
hopefully for play and not work.
Yes, me and my wife and one of my best friends from college and his wife they're coming from Kansas City. We're meeting there. I'm golfing tomorrow morning at TPC Las Vegas. I am looking forward to that, and then watching some sports and hanging out at the pool. And might be a chance if Vegas can win tonight on Sunday night. I believe it would be. I have a chance to maybe be in Las Vegas when the Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup.
Saturday night, by the way. Saturday night. It'll be Saturday night. So
I need to know the right night, and I'll be staying there.
I'm trying to avoid the S word, the SWEEEP word, but that could happen on Saturday night.
Hey, guy, Mike Prater's been a lifelong Golden Knights fan here, folks. So let's
long-suffering Vegas Golden Knights fan.
But actually, we are staying at the partners of Bronco Nation News, Circa, and they are the official. They have their logos on the jerseys for the Golden Knights, and then they're the official watch party. So I'm not going to get there quite in time tonight for the game, but they're having a watch party, so I could be at the official watch party because the game will be in Florida, right? With the mascot and everybody else on Saturday night potentially when they win the cup. So
Yes, sir.
I'll be partying with the cheerleaders for you and everybody there.
Make it happen. I'm going to make you the lucky charm. Make it happen, my friend.
I'm looking forward to that. So not to say I've completely mailed it in today, Prater, but I'm headed to Vegas this afternoon. And so we just kind of have a hodgepodge of things to get our sponsor obligations in and get us through 30 minutes and then move on with the rest of my weekend. At least I'm being honest about it. Right. But we're starting late. We don't have a ton to talk about, but we're going to make it work here on Bronco Nation News Live. Got to pay the bills with the sponsors, and we've been kind of off and on. And to be honest, there's going to be a lot of no show tomorrow, and then a lot of Friday, Mondays, where there may not be some shows for the rest of the summer. Next week, Mike, we will start our look at some of the players. We spent the month of May kind of looking at some of the team storylines. We'll start to focus on some of the individual players and their outlook for next season and what we're expecting from them and their career path moving forward. We'll start next week with that, and we're already a week behind. I had forgotten on my list. I had game plan to start that this week, so we'll be doing probably 2 a day, which won't be the worst thing to help us get through the show. But there is some news I wanted to talk about. It's come down pretty recently. There's a couple of things this morning, but Alexander Mattison is going to be RB1 in Minnesota. I know there were some rumors, and that was thought to be happening the last couple of days last week, but I saw the Adam Schefter tweet that they are parting ways either via a trade or a releasing him by tomorrow, I believe. What do you make? That's Dalvin Cook is getting released. And so Alexander Mattison, former Boise State running back, gets to take over as RB1 there in Minnesota. That's a pretty cool opportunity, good opportunity for Alexander Mattison. It worked out. It's crazy in the NFL how quickly they move on from one running back to the next, but Alexander Mattison, at least for the next year or two, is going to be the beneficiary of that.
Yeah, and that's fantastic for Alexander Mattison. We love that. We love that guy when he was at Boise State, and we all wanted to see him get into this position. And here it is. Thanks to the crazy, crazy business of the National Football League, it's weird that Dalvin Cook, 4 or 5 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, still, in his prime. What is he? I don't know how old he is.
4 straight Pro Bowls right now.
Yeah, and he's still in his 20s. So, and all of a sudden, you just flat out get rid of him for a guy. As much as we love Alexander Mattison, is unproven, and I can't wait to see his chance. But this is a big, 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 massive risk for the Minnesota Vikings to get rid of the Dalvin Cook. And then all of a sudden, Alexander Mattison, he's never even rushed for 500 yards, let alone 1,000 yards in his career. And his numbers are kind of trending down. They're going to go back up, but this is a big risk and a lot of loyalty being shown to Alexander Mattison.
Well, when did this kind of change in the NFL for you, where it kind of went away from the bell cow backs and older running backs? And, now if I know fantasy football, it sucks because most teams have these 2 backs that share it, and one guy gets the goal line carries. And, it just seems like we're moving away from that. And now it's like 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, we'll just go get a cheap guy in the 5th round and move on. And it just seems like there's been this shift in the NFL in terms of the running backs the last decade or so.
Yeah, I was going to say about 10 years, and I first noticed it, and you used the F word, fantasy football, when, fantasy football drafts used to be the top 10 players were all the top 10 running backs. And then, maybe late in the first round, you take a star wide receiver, a star quarterback. It's the complete opposite now. You're not even taking running backs. There's certain fantasy football leagues out there where a running back's not even going in the top 10. Derrick Henry's been the bell cow for the National Football League for a couple of years. He's going downhill. After that, who's the star running back in the NFL? I don't think that person exists right now.
Hey, we are broadcasting from the Cutwater Spirits Mobile Studios here in Meridian. Bronco Nation News, more than 30 flavors of premixed premium cocktails. Make sure you pick up a Cutwater at your local gas station or grocery store. Mike, the Cutwater was out there. That was a nice little hole they had there at hole 4 with some free samples and things at the golf tournament. So we appreciate them for coming out. Rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. That's where Prater is, the Rowpaint.com studios at KTIK. 5 times stronger than epoxy, the 1-day install in 24 hours. You can completely transform the look of your back patio, your garage. Check it out, roepaint.com. And Lithia Ford of Boise, I got the wrong graphic on the screen for them, so don't kill me, Lithia Ford. But it's grilling season. It's getting hot. LithiaFordBoise.com has the full inventory of vehicles. You can do what the Raines family did, go purchase a vehicle. We couldn't be happier. They have the new deal now, Mike. I don't know if you saw it with Taylon Green. He has a new 2023 F-150 lease courtesy of Jim Sturk and Lithia Ford, one of our sponsors. So go support the sponsors. They're taking care of the local athletes and helping them out. Lithia Ford, Boise, and of course, Idaho Central Credit Union. They brought you the Tyson Degenhart Show on Monday night, ICCU.com. Check them out. More than 550,000 Idahoans have made the switch to ICCU, and you can too. Again, there's a branch pretty much on every corner. Check them out, ICCU.com. I appreciate you guys for giving us some pub on the show yesterday. You played one of the clips that Leon Rice talked about, Mark Few and Gonzaga. The fact that Leon Rice will not play them. Tyson Degenhart asked the question himself and got the answer. So I appreciate that. What were your thoughts, I guess, from Tyson Degenhart? It was episode 1. He's going to get a lot better. He was a little nervous, and he did his homework. He has questions, and we're working with them already to make episode 2 even better. But overall, ICCU, NIL, Boise State having a star player host his own show. What'd you think?
He's no Johnny Ballgame. He's no BJ Rains, but you know what? I agree with you. You can tell he was a little bit nervous, but there is potential there. I thought it was great. And more than just the show itself, it's just like, I kept thinking, what a crazy world that we live in, that we can pay student athletes now to host their own social media shows. None of those things even existed in my mind 5, 6, 7 years ago. And here it is. And he's going to do it every week. I think it's pretty darn cool, and I congratulate you and all your sponsors for putting that together. Tyson's going to be a lot of fun. He's a pretty cool dude, and he's got a lot of interest. He's big into news. He's big into sports. He's big into current events. He's big into pop culture. This guy's going to cover a lot of different events. It's going to be a lot of fun. So for me, getting to know him a little bit more as he becomes this massive superstar here in town, I'll definitely be watching the Tyson Degenhart Show.
Yeah, we got Jeremiah Dickey coming up on the next episode, Marlene Tromp on episode 3, and then episode 4 might break the internet, a sit-down conversation with Talon Green and Tyson Degenhart on episode 4. We're looking forward to that. So he's got a little better access to the big stars than we do, Prater. Yeah. When Tyson Degenhart asks for an interview on his show, it's a little easier to get Talon Green and some of those folks than it is than us. But we'll gladly take it here on BNN. I did have one quick clip I wanted to play. Tyson was telling a story before we brought Leon on about a game, very important game when he was being recruited by Boise State. He knew that Leon was going to be there, that RJ Barsh was going to be there watching him play against Gonzaga Prep, and he actually knew that Mark Few was going to be in the stands as well, and he ended up having a terrible game, and he asked Leon Rice if he remembered about that.
The Gonzaga Prep game that you and Coach Barsh went to.
Yeah.
Would you have any second thought? Did you have any second thoughts watching me play and he's not playing very well? Did you have any second thoughts about?
No, I don't do that because when I go, I'm all in and I know what. Because I don't get too caught up on, I want guys that play right. The story about you that Robin was on it from when you were an 8th grader, and so we saw something in there way back, and so that didn't that never wavers on one game. It's all how people react and how they act and how they play and if they play right, because sometimes ball's going to go in, sometimes it's not. And I don't think you had a bad game. I think you had 24.
I don't think I had that many. I remember I had 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes and just kind of put myself in a tough spot. And I knew that you and Barsh were going to be there and Coach Few was going to be in the stands. And I put a little extra pressure on myself to make sure, because I hadn't beaten Gonzaga Prep up until that point. And
but they double teamed you that night too. And some of your guys, some of your teammates took some bad shots. I didn't like that. They should have thrown you the ball more. And they did, because they boxed and won you, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I know, Maddie.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, there was never a second thought on that. And that we knew what we're getting, Tyson.
Couple things there. First of all, Robin Rice, that story's kind of been out before, but Robin Rice was the one that actually first saw Tyson Degenhart playing on an 8th grade AAU summer team and told Leon, this guy might be something here. So Boise State fans, don't thank Leon Rice, thank Robin Rice for initially Tyson Degenhart getting here. But just kind of the back and forth there and talking about a high school game. Those are the kind of questions that we would never know to ask. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I've never been in that situation, never was, probably never will, obviously, with coaches in the stands and watching you play, and had I don't know about your athletic background, Mike Prater, but I'm sure you had all the Division I coaches coming out to your prep games back in the day.
Oh yeah, massive. Just massive lines and parades marching into Twin Falls, Idaho for no, not even close to that, BJ. And I keep thinking, can you imagine the conversations? I mean, Robin Rice holds something over Leon's head that she's going to take advantage of, I hope, and just like, that guy, I spotted that guy. I mean, they're brushing their teeth at night. Tyson Degenhart's my recruit. So I would imagine she drops that conveniently every now and then. Oh, where would your program be without Tyson Degenhart, by the way? I think that's pretty funny. I don't know Robin Rice that well at all, but I would imagine she's going to have a little bit of fun with that.
Oh, she definitely would throw that back all the time. And as Jordan says, Robin is legit. That's why it'll be Rice Family Court someday, not Leon Rice Court. That's been a Johnny ball game thing. He wants the court to be named before the first game this season. But because having two kids on the team, what they've done, I think the Rice Family Court someday. He's the all-time winningest coach here. Sometimes that could be the case. But so that'll be twice a month. 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. We had to do it on Monday the first week because there was a conflict with Tyson, but it'll be on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. And the next episode is Jeremiah Dickey. We're looking forward to that. And we'll continue to evolve. He gave some tops at the end. He talked a little hockey, talked a little NBA. So it'll be not just an interview, all kinds of stuff. And he'll have some teammates on. We got a lot of cool things moving forward. So check that out. The Tyson Degenhart Show, brought to you by ICCU. Okay, another thing I saw pop up this morning, Mike. There are now official Vegas betting odds on the next team to join the Big 12. Who do you think right now is the favorite to join the Big 12, the official betting favorite from bookies.com?
Oh, that's a no-brainer. That's Deion Sanders. I'm not even going to say Colorado. I'm not going to say CU. They want Deion. They want primetime, and I think that's probably a no-brainer. It's probably like an even money thing that bet is so big, isn't it?
No, it's plus 250 still.
That's not okay. That's a little
there's some value. There's some value there, though.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I think it's going to happen. I really, truly do. And what
who's second then? So who's second then? If we think Colorado's too easy, who do you think the second?
Well, I mean, all the stories that are kind of cropped up over the last few days speculating that Colorado and Arizona are going to go together, and Arizona's going to leave Arizona State behind. So I'll go Arizona.
Okay, we'll give it to you. Okay. I guess the better question is the next non-Power 5 team that's in the odds comes up third and fourth. Who do you think the next two non-Power 5 teams odds to join the Big 12?
Don't tell me Colorado State's on that list.
No.
Oh, thank God. The non-Power 5.
Yep.
Boise State?
Boise State is not on here unless you consider them as the field. But the third, you have Colorado at plus 250, Arizona at plus 400, and coming in third at plus 650, the Memphis Tigers.
Really? I have not heard that one yet.
San Diego State is plus 750, UConn plus 850, Louisville plus 1,000, Arizona State plus 1,200, Utah plus 1,200, and the field is 800.
Yeah. Those first two are pretty obvious to me, and I think there's a chance it could happen. After that, Memphis, I don't know anything about that one. That seems a little bizarre for me. And the rest of them, absolutely no way in hell that's going to happen. So I think it's going to happen here. And I think we're going to see some conference realignment. We're doing some conference realignment stuff on Idaho Sports Talk today. By the end of this month, I think things are going to happen. Somebody's going to have to do something by the end of this month. There's entrance fees, there's exit fees, there's notice fees. There's all kinds of stuff that happens on July 1st when a lot of schools begin fiscal years or written into contracts in terms of deadlines and grants of rights and everything about conference bylaws and rules. So July 1st is a big one, and I think we're going to see something. I think the Arizona-Colorado thing to the Big 12 is getting steam. It's picking up a lot of steam. It certainly is in the social media world and in the real reporting world. Whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know, but that's certainly something I'm keeping an eye on.
Why is San Diego State? I mean, everyone just assumes, and maybe you still do, that it's just a foregone conclusion they are for sure going to the Pac-12. And I know that you're talking about the deadline. Some of that has to do with San Diego State if they want to go, I think, for 2024. But what do you think has stalled there? Is it just the TV thing that's still trying to be worked out from the Pac-12, or it just seemed like it was such a sure thing, and we really haven't heard much about that for the last month or so?
I know, and it does scare you, and it does make you wonder what's going on. And San Diego State definitely has a July 1st deadline that's going to impact their university and their athletic department very much. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. I've stopped speculating on what's going on with the Pac-12. Obviously, there's media rights issues going on there. Expansion and realignment issues are going on there. I don't think they're going after SMU. I know that they took a visit there and created a lot of media buzz. Maybe they just pick San Diego State. San Diego State's not going to the Big 12. If they're either going to stand pat, I think, or go to the Pac-12. I think eventually they'll end up in the Pac-12, and we'll see what that looks like. But it's very, very bizarre. And the whole Pac-12 thing is very, very bizarre. I said the other day that something weird. I mean, the Live PGA merger was like the big bomb of the week. I think we're going to get something like that out of the blue, something we didn't think of, like Memphis going to the Big 12 or something else going on. A couple of days ago, I didn't think Arizona and Colorado to the Big 12 were a big deal, but a lot of people are reporting that now. So that seems like it's picking up some steam. There's going to be a bombshell announcement about something weird going on with conference realignment in the next couple of weeks, if you ask me.
Well, I know the Mountain West presidents and at least athletic directors are meeting this week in Hawaii. By the way, just you couldn't do the Zoom meeting. You had to go all the way to Hawaii to meet the. That's the money well spent for the Mountain West, I guess. But I know that Jeremiah Dickey is over in Hawaii. They are meeting some Mountain West meetings. There was some Big 12 meetings going on. So this is the kind of time that all the conferences are kind of getting their ducks in a row. And you're right, some stuff probably is happening here in the next few weeks. But the thing with San Diego State was if they want to go in time for the 2024 season, they have to tell the Mountain West by July 1st, or the buyout goes much higher, correct?
Yep, that's how I understand that. I don't remember exactly what the money is, but we're talking, $3, $4, $5 million that could double if they do it after July 1st, somewhere in that neighborhood, if I remember right. So yeah, there is a significant deadline for San Diego State, and I don't see them missing it. I mean, if they don't accept something by July 1st, then I don't think a real offer is on the table, and they're going to stand pat for a while.
So if Colorado and Arizona go to the Big 12, which seems like is the all these crazy scenarios the most plausible at this moment, Colorado and Arizona, how does that impact Boise State? Is the Pac-12 dead, or do they now have to go add like 4 teams, and Boise State all of a sudden might have a shot there again?
So let me do some math. So they're 12 now, and they're losing 2 down to 10. And then if they lost Colorado, they're down to 9. And then they could add San Diego State and get back to 10. Did I do the math?
Arizona? No, you didn't. You forgot Arizona.
So there's some crazy numbers there.
12. There's 12. They're losing UCLA and USC. That puts them at 10. If they lose Colorado and Arizona, that puts them down to 8.
That's right. And so then they may have to go back to SMU. They may have to go to San Diego State and SMU. If Arizona and Colorado both leave, I think that means SMU is back into play. And that's,
Would they stop at 10 though, or could they go to 12 and go UNLV and Boise State, or Fresno State and Boise State?
I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think Boise State's going anywhere. But with that said, Boise State could very well be part of this big bombshell. I mean, I think that we're talking about scenarios that aren't being reported. We're talking about scenarios that could be out there sitting in the weeds and waiting to happen. And all of a sudden, a random invite from Boise State, from the Pac-12 to Boise State, or conferences move here and there, and 24 hours later, they respond by going out and getting Boise State. Something like that's going to happen. And Boise State is in a very good position to make something like that happen, but it's just so bizarre and so weird. I don't think there's any traction for Boise State whatsoever right now. Nobody's reporting anything. Nobody, look at these Vegas odds. They know what's going on. All the reporters, they kind of know what's going on. All these meetings are going on right now, these league meetings, these athletic directors and presidents, all that stuff is going on. Nobody's talking about Boise State. So it's either not going to happen or that's the bombshell waiting to happen.
Well, Prater, if you can tell here, I've now gone from the XX sweatshirt down to the XL sweatshirt as we continue to drop the pounds thanks to our friends at Lean Feast in Meridian, leanfeast.com/Meridian. I'm at my lowest weight in over 2 years thanks to Lean Feast, and we are rocking and rolling. They're customizable, delicious, filling meals. Check them out online. You can order online. They'll deliver. You don't even have to go in. They've got deals with Talon and Ashton. They're working on one with Tyson. They might even be feeding the basketball team here pretty soon this summer. Check it out. Highly recommend them. It's delicious, filling food. Whatever your diet is, whatever your lifestyle is, they've got different things for keto or whatever you're looking to do, high carb, low carb, whatever. They can help you out. leanfeast.com/Meridian. And I couldn't be happier with them, and also couldn't be happier with the Blue and Orange store. They gave out the prizes. I didn't see Mike Prater's name on the long drive list when I was handing out the prizes from the tournament. The blueandorangestore.com. They gave out some gift cards to the Blue and Orange store for winning that. But check them out. Free shipping, any order over $40. And if you are in the area, just go to the second floor there at the Boise Town Square Mall. Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher. No home is too big or too small. Check them out, BoucherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, ShopRidleys.com. 13 Idaho locations. Download their new app to get 40% savings. ShopRidleys.com. United Commercial Insurance. They make it easy. Right, business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. Check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. And, of course, Boise Dentistry Co., our friends out there. We love Dr. Miner and his staff. They do a tremendous job. They make it an enjoyable experience for the family to go to the dentist. Check them out. Find a location near you at BoiseDentistryCo.com. Mike, as we get ready to wrap this up, I have one kind of final question for you real quick. We've been talking a lot about Kellen Moore. I know you guys talked about him on your show the last couple of days. I posed the question to Johnny, and he said I was supposed to ask you the question today because he said that you had some thoughts on this, and I know we've heard him on the radio and stuff, but the simple question in our last minute or two here, why is Kellen Moore not already in the College Football Hall of Fame?
Just because there's other names in front of him. You know, these things take time. You're not always a first ballot, second ballot, third ballot Hall of Famer. And I think here in Boise, we're just a little bit impatient. Kellen Moore is going to get in the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, I went and looked at my list, and, you know, there's 4 quarterbacks on here who've won national championships. I think those kind of football players need to be recognized. Winning a national championship, I don't care if, like a Ken Dorsey. I mean, he was surrounded by so much talent at Miami. He almost accidentally won a national championship, but he did. He was a quarterback at the highest level, and he won a national championship. To me, that's very, very important. Michael Vick, he changed the game. He revolutionized the game. Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald, Julius Peppers. I got about 8 or 9 people, and we were talking about this on the show the other day. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, anybody can vote for the College Football Hall of Fame. You have to pay your dues for the National Football Foundation, and then you can go vote. That's the crazy part. I think it was like 10 to 15,000 members, and any of them can go vote. So I could go vote, but I don't know how many you can vote for. But I have 8 or 9 people in front of Kellen Moore on this year's ballot. And that's not to say that Kellen Moore isn't worthy. Again, he's going to get in. It's okay if you have to wait 2 or 3 or 4 years. I guarantee you he's not worried about it. Kellen Moore will be a Hall of Famer, but I can't see putting Michael Vick. Michael Vick needs to get in the Hall of Fame before Kellen Moore. I know that isn't very popular around here, but Michael Vick's on the ballot, and I'm voting for Michael Vick.
Everybody watching right now, send your $5 or $10 donation to Mike Prater at KTIK Radio. We will, and to all the media members here, and we will purchase memberships to the Football Foundation so that we can get 3 or 4 more people in Boise all voting for Kellen Moore.
There you go.
That sounds like that's what needs to happen. But Chad says as we wrap it up, I hate that the realignment is basically all about the money. UConn has 27 wins since 2013. If the Pac-12 starts falling apart, don't know what's going to happen next. And as Jordan says, final comment today on the ICCU chat, I'd rather be the silent bombshell waiting to happen than the public desperation that is Fresno State with some of their graphics and things.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. And I think that's a beautiful word to say it. Fresno State, city council, this, pushing the agenda, that. That's the only reason why Fresno State's being mentioned in some of his reports, because they've been proactive on their side. And, you know, it kind of goes back to the old Mike Oresco, Craig Thompson days. One person stood up and beat on his chest all the time and kind of made, look at me, look at me, look at me, and then his conference fell apart. Craig Thompson sat back, kind of was mellow, kind of just did his own thing, quietly went to work every day, didn't beat himself on the chest. And the Mountain West is in pretty good shape right now, moving forward as a group of 5 conference, nothing more than that. So I understand the limitations there. So yes, you know, Boise State waiting in the weeds, preferably a bombshell over the next couple of weeks. I would love to see that happen.
Well, we have people on the chat asking for your Venmo, Prater. So I was kind of kidding, but you know, folks, they're that desperate to get Kellen Moore in the Hall of Fame that they're willing to send you some cash. But
let's find out how many you can vote for. If you can vote for at least 10, and then somebody pays for my membership, I will absolutely vote for Kellen Moore for the Hall of Fame. How about that for selling my soul?
Hey, man, I know you've been taking a lot of trips and things, but you can be jealous of me this weekend. I'll be out by the golfing in Vegas, out by the pool in Vegas. It's our friends Circa Sports, Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. So I'm going to have a good weekend down there, and then we'll be back next week and start our top 25 player countdowns. No show tomorrow. Sorry again to Prater and JP and everybody that we were a few minutes late starting, but appreciate you guys for watching the show. Prater, thanks to you as always. We'll be listening 3 to 6 today, man. Have a good show.
I appreciate it. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 4:00 when you bring your Bronco Nation News Report over to Idaho Sports Talk. And
can I do that poolside from Circa? Can I do that poolside? Is that allowed tomorrow?
Right. You're on vacation. Do you want the day off, or do you want to work?
Stuff to talk about. I'm happy to do it, but if there's not much going on, we want to skip a week. That's fine too. Let's do it. But
but you got to be at the pool at Circa. I need your shirt off, and I need your hand covered around a drink with an umbrella in it.
Then if we're doing that, there's no way there's going to be a video segment then, but we can. I can just paint the visual, I guess, but we're trying to help your viewership, not hurt it. But
you said you were skinny right now.
I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm in a much better place than I have. I mean, just to be completely honest, the day I got back January 1st, I weighed myself, and from January 1st to now, I've surpassed the 40-pound mark.
Nice.
So I'm actually more, you know how it is. I'm more embarrassed and disgusted looking at the old pictures of how did I get where you don't realize it, and then when you lose it, you're like, you're more mad at where you were in January than where you are now. But moving in the right direction. Moving in the right direction. Thanks to our friends over at Lean Feast. So everybody have a great weekend. There will be no show tomorrow, but I will hopefully join Prater and Johnny at 4:00 and 3:00 in Vegas. I can give you my report on TPC Las Vegas. I'll be done with that round, and we'll see what happens. But Prater, appreciate it as always. Hopefully Saturday night I can be at the official watch party when the Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup. That would be awesome. So appreciate it. We'll talk to everybody later. Have a great day. Be listening 3 to 6 today to Johnny and Prater. This has been Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.